Hi friends, this is Molly McCord. Welcome to my next video. This is the Scorpio new moon on November 7th, 2018. And here on my channel, we look at the charts of the different transits and lunations. So I'm going to go through the chart of this November 7th new moon as we look at the different energies that are happening. So you'll see here that this is exact November 7th, 2018 at 11:02 a.m. and this is in New York, New York. So you would want to adjust the time according to your location on the planet. And here we have the full chart with the sun and the moon together at 15 degrees of Scorpio and 11 minutes. In your natal chart, you would want to find the location of 15 degrees of Scorpio. And this is where this new moon energy is coming through. This new moon has a power surge to it. It has strength. It's fierce. Scorpio is a fierce energy. It's passion, it's purpose, and determination. And when the sun and the moon are in alignment with this energy going on, they are creating a new passion together. Scorpio is the energy of merging, of how we share energies. We share energies emotionally, intuitively, energetically, sexually, psychologically, financially. It's how we share with others. It's how we share energies outside of ourselves and then how those energies affect us internally. The sun and the moon merging together at the new moon is a time when you look at what do I need now that powerfully supports my energy? Where do I need to continue to transform anything that feels powerless? Any of those fears, any of those unconscious areas of life. Scorpio is associated with the dark. It's associated with what we can't see yet, what we feel and we sense and we intuit. We feel it intuitively, but we realize we're still figuring it out. We're moving through a journey. We're moving through a process. And Scorpio is the sign of moving through the emotional, energetic journey. So this new moon is asking you to look here at the very middle of Scorpio, where you're at in the journey of transformation, where you are transforming something that maybe just has been brought up to your awareness. And yet you've done a lot already because Jupiter has been moving through Scorpio since 2018, October. And this is its final hurrah. Jupiter at 29 degrees of Scorpio, 48 minutes, is getting ready to leave this sign. So it's already moved through this part of your chart and transform something for you. You are different. A fear you had, where you felt powerless, where you felt that there was shame, where you felt that you had taken on other people's energies, that is what you have moved through, hopefully consciously and intentionally, with that Jupiter in Scorpio journey. Jupiter moves into Sagittarius a few days after this new moon on November 9th, and it brings a new lift to the energy. It brings back the light, the understanding, what you've learned so far. But this new moon is showing you, here in the very middle of Scorpio, that there's parts of you that you're still transforming. Maybe it feels like the caboose to Jupiter's steam engine train. Maybe it feels like these are the parts that you're still working on. But give yourself time. Give yourself the next 2 weeks here to work through these fears powerfully, perhaps by yourself. Scorpio is a very private energy. It's what we do in private or in secret, what we don't want everyone else to know about. So that's to be honored. That when we go through deep experiences, when we're emotionally purging, when we're really processing something deeply, it really isn't for other people. It can just be between you and your soul, or you and someone you trust. Scorpio is about those that you trust with your fears, people you trust with your vulnerabilities. And go to those people for what you're moving through, because they're going to see you in that space and love you and honor you as you go through this deep purging of who you were and who you are becoming. This new moon has big support from the two outer planets, both Pluto and Neptune. The sun and the moon are receiving gusts of support, gusto, if you will, from Pluto at 19 degrees of Capricorn here, making a sextile to both the sun and the moon, which strengthens it. Pluto in Capricorn is what we're transforming for the long haul, where you're looking at your mastery, where you're claiming greater responsibility over your life, where you're headed. You're saying, this is what I want. This is what matters to me. That Pluto energy takes no prisoners. It transforms you permanently. It changes things where there's no going back. So there's support here in honoring what you need to do for yourself, both the masculine and feminine energies within you, your yin yang, the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you present yourself. All of that is transforming deeply. Again, this has been in process already with Jupiter moving through Scorpio. But Pluto is here to say, yes, keep going, keep trusting, keep moving through this. Now you'll see that because Pluto is at 19 degrees, the sun will be at 19 degrees of Scorpio 4 days after this lunation. The sun moves 1 degree a day. And so it's building up. It's building up to this exact sextile with Pluto, which is powerful, which is a new sense of really trusting who you are, where you're going, what matters to you. This can signal career, job, professional changes because of how Capricorn is about the energy that you share out in the world. It does relate as well to marriage, your legal status with others, and your responsibilities. So this is a time of looking at where you need to show up in the world with a focus on your responsibilities. And this is feeling powerful in how you show up in the world. Now, the other strong energy we have here is with Neptune, right down here, 13 degrees of Pisces retrograde. And this Neptune energy is making a trine to the sun and the moon. And this is also a water sign. Neptune in Pisces is where we are surrendering and understanding that we don't know it all. Everything changes form. Everything must be transmuted and released. We have to let go. What do you need to let go of here? And the energy that I'm feeling is it's like you've been moving through a big transformative process of some really big fears, something emotional, something intense that has probably required a lot of work and effort. It's where you've been moving through some, again, hard things that maybe other people don't even know about. And okay, this is so beautiful. Like what I'm seeing intuitively is that we can hold debris around the stuff that we've been transmuting. And it's sort of like, you know how you put something in the bonfire and it burns away and then there's the ashes remain. I had the visual of taking any of that debris, any of those ashes, and you're giving it to Spirit to take care of the rest. Take care of what I can't see. Take care of what I don't know. Please hold me in unconditional love. Please continue to guide me. And this is also the part of your energy that's strengthening in trust, that you're okay. Things are coming together. Things have come together. Even when we're in those darkest times, things have come together for you. Things have shown up. And this is the connection to Spirit that's saying, you know, you're here for a reason. And some of this big soul evolutionary stuff is really, really hard on the human spirit. Partner with the bigger spirit. Partner with the bigger energies that are supporting you, guiding you, and are always there for you. This is a very, again, supportive energy, but it's like that sense of, I can do this and keep going. Also release. That's the other part of it. You release that debris. You release those ashes. You're like, I don't even want that hanging around anymore. Give it to Spirit and trust what you feel intuitively. It's a very intuitive energy with Neptune trining both the sun and the moon. Both Scorpio and Pisces are hermits. They're introverts. They're leave me alone. I need to listen. I need to be in my own world. I need to feel what I feel. I want space. So honor that too at this new moon. Honor what you need to do to take care of your emotional world, your energetic body, your intuitive self. I also feel like this could be a spiritually healing new moon. That you could feel that parts of you have shifted permanently. And I'm hearing paradigm shift. I'm hearing there's a paradigm shift occurring with this new moon because you really are different than even a year ago. And the energies on the planet have been moving so fast. We had big eclipses this summer. We've had big energies all year. You could be exhausted. You could be exhausted. And so this is also taking care of yourself and what you need to do, because I feel like there's things happening in the spiritual realms that are supporting what's happening here. So believe in that with this new moon. And believe that you've been calling in what you need as you go. So make sure that you're calling in the Pisces qualities of self-compassion, of self-forgiveness around what you didn't know, around the ability to keep loving yourself even when you can find all the mistakes in your life or all the things you didn't do that you wish you had done differently. If there's any regrets or anything that you're like, God, I wish I'd handled that differently. This is a new moon that's saying, okay, in my humanness, I did what I could. I really tried my best. I thought I was in my power, and maybe I wasn't. And if that's the case, if anything's coming up for you in that area, this is where you also give yourself the Neptune and Pisces qualities of self-acceptance, self-love, and self-forgiveness. So you can see how this is a very powerful new moon because of how all these planets, specifically Neptune and Pluto, are saying, you are changing, you are different, you have experienced a paradigm shift this year, and own it powerfully, own it and claim it, because the road ahead here as Jupiter moves into Sagittarius is uplifting. It's the next adventure. It's like standing on a beautiful peak where you can see things differently, what you've learned, because that is what Sagittarius shows us. Well, what did I learn and what am I learning? And you've learned a lot in recent years, and that's going to be celebrated here as Jupiter moves into Sagittarius on November 9th. Now, also in this chart, you can see we have Mercury at 8 degrees of Sagittarius there. And this is interesting because he's actually in his shadow. Mercury will be stationing retrograde at 13 degrees of Sagittarius on November 16th. So he's in his shadow and he's going to be going back over the same territory, which means he's going to be formulating the vision, formulating the next call of his soul and what it looks like and where he wants to go. It's the traveler. It's the, I'm ready for the next part of my life. I want to think differently about what's possible for me. So that happens November 16th, that Mercury stations retrograde, which is the same day that our girl Venus at 26 degrees of Libra, she stations direct at 25 degrees of Libra on November 16th. So she's ending her retrograde energy. And now that she's back in Libra, she's able to talk about everything she's been feeling while she was in Scorpio. And she's able to put words to it, and she's able to share it, and she's able to take a few steps back and say, okay, now this is what I've been feeling. These have been my fears. These are my worries. This is what's come up in Scorpio. When she's back in Libra, she finds the people she can talk to about it and gets it out of her head and converses and looks at it differently. She is objective. Whereas in Scorpio, she's very subjective and very emotional. Now she's like, all right, now let me see what I didn't see before. What did I miss? What do I need to understand about this? The other side of the coin, the other possibilities here. Now, this energy of Venus at 26 degrees of Libra also makes a great trine here to Mars. And Mars is over here. Yes, Mars still in Aquarius, 25 degrees of Aquarius. He's actually in Aquarius for 8 months this year due to that retrograde he had this summer. So Mars in Aquarius is your future self, where you're going, what's next, the vision, the path, the way ahead, what you're wanting to create and experience, and you get it mentally first. It's the visions and the visuals. That's Aquarius, which is also an air sign that is formulating this through your third eye, and it's showing you where you're going, which is Mars, desire, action, the way ahead. So this is the masculine, and it's teaming up beautifully with the feminine energies of Venus. So the masculine and the feminine during this new moon are in alignment. They're talking, they're having conversations and energizing each other. They're giving each other support and saying, okay, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's the path ahead? And then Venus in Libra says, well, this is what I've learned about what was preventing me from moving ahead. This is what I've learned when I was in Scorpio, and now I see it differently. Venus is going to be in Libra for most of November, helping you to think about those fears differently, how to approach them, how to talk about them, how to mentally work them through you so they don't get stuck in the emotional body. And so this is a great energy here because now she is energized and supported by Mars. Whereas when she was in Scorpio, she squared Mars. So she was frustrated with him and she's like, I'm trying to make progress and it wasn't time. So now some things click with this new moon. Now some things come together between the feminine and the masculine, what you need to receive. And the women who support you because of how Venus is feminine energy, and that can be just feminine energy in general, not always specific to gender, but how the feminine energy is ready to receive through people she knows, and that is Libra. And then that is working again nicely with Mars, the way ahead, where he's going, what he has scouted out, and where he's headed in the future. So that's a really lovely connection there. So you can see how there's a lot in this new moon that's all about owning the powerful new version of yourself that has been created this year. This is a new moon to sit with yourself, to contemplate what is still in transformation, what you're still working through, where you still have untapped reservoirs of your own energy and power, how to claim it, and then to understand that you're so cosmically supported right now with Pluto and Neptune that there really is no going back and there's no holding back. So what can you do to honor yourself even more with this new moon? Honor who you are becoming. Honor what this year has brought up, even if it's been challenging or hard or a struggle. But here you are, kicking it, still moving through, jamming on. It's like, keep it going, because I feel like there's going to be some big energy shifts in November here with the planets. And this is one conversation of how things have shifted, but there's more coming with Jupiter going into Sagittarius and a few other things, which I talk about every week on my podcast. I upload those episodes to YouTube. One is on Monday and one is on Wednesday. We talk about the energies. I get channeled messages. I get intuitive messages and visuals. We do some healing things, all kinds of stuff. I just open up and see what comes in and what comes through. I've been channeling since 2009. I tried to shut it down for a while. I said, go away. Didn't happen. So here I am still doing this work, and I love it because now I really love it. And I really know that it supports you and helps you. And that's what brings me joy too, because we're all in this together, right? I mean, that's part of the Scorpio, is how we share and empower each other, how we honestly and authentically empower each other to own our energy fields to the fullest extent that we can. So that's how I choose to use astrology, and I hope that these insights have helped you on your path as well. Thank you for your comments, your likes, and your subscribes. I will have another video here for you soon about the Gemini full moon that's coming up November 22nd and 23rd. And I hope to see you back here soon with even more astrology information to share with you. Thanks, friends.